So as we know, Epic have just announced that Trio Cash Cups are going to be starting weekly, with the first one being literally tomorrow at the time of uploading this video. Now, this means that you all need to know what to do in order to place highly, and in this video I'm going to share with you some crucial tips and strategies to help you dominate the Trio Cash Cups for the rest of this season. If you do enjoy, please do drop a like and subscribe, as we are so close to 20,000 subscribers. Let's get straight on into today's video. So starting off, I want to talk about the points format for the upcoming Trio Cash Cups. Now these are going to be 3 hours long, from 7:30pm UK time to 10:30pm UK time, and the top 198 teams on each region will qualify through to the second round. Now, the point system is 65 points per win and 1 point per kill, which is exactly the same points format used in the Solo Victory Cup and Duo Cash Cups throughout this season. Now, this means that the Trio Cash Cup is going to be a placement heavy format once again, and I will share some strategies later in this video as to how you can use that to your advantage. Now, as for point estimates in order to call, we can use the data from the recent Duo Cash Cup placements to take a very rough estimate as to how many points you may need to make the second round of the Trio Cash Cups. Top 198 teams in the Duo Cash Cup was 330 points, so I would estimate for the Trio Cash Cups that the points needed to call will fall between 320 and 350 as a rough estimate. However, it is important to remember that this is just an estimate, and the points could be way different depending on the number of trios that queue up to play. Now, next up I want to cover something very important, which is going to be the multiple roles within a trio. So let's move on to talking about the roles and the 3 types of players that you need in your trio in order to work well, be successful, and eventually make the second round. Firstly, there needs to be an IGL. Now, the job of the IGL within the trio is to make the decisions about positioning, as well as also doing the tarping in the endgame. The IGL has the most important role and therefore should be the smartest player out of the 3 of you in the trio. Next up, there should be a fragger. Now, similarly to duo, the fragger's job is to play aggressive, but not downright stupid. Their job is to try and identify opportunities to get refreshes or search tags, for example. These games are likely to be extremely stacked, so Storm Surge may be necessary on multiple occasions, as everyone will be playing for placement. The fragger should be the player who is strongest and the most confident fighter within the trio. Lastly, we have the new role of the support player. Now, this player must play at the rear of the trio, constantly delivering mats and heals to both the IGL and fragger. However, the support player must also have the crucial endgame role of watching the back of the tarp to make sure that no opponents are able to break into the tarp, for example, and therefore grief the game of your team. The support player must be constantly switched on and follow the communication of what the IGL wants to do, whilst also helping to support the fragger in fights at the same time. You cannot just have 2 players, the IGL and the fragger, in the trio. The support role is just important, and they need to understand this when trying to benefit the team as much as possible. Now, I will put up on screen a short diagram explaining all the crucial roles in the trio in a bit more detail, so I'd recommend pausing the video at this current point or skipping back 10 seconds so you can read it and share it with your trio. So now I'm going to be covering exactly how you should play out the games in the Trio Cash Cup tomorrow and for future weeks in order to be most successful and hopefully make round 2. Make sure to share this video with your trio so they also understand the objectives, and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now, similar to the Solo and Duo Cash Cups, your very first game is arguably the most important. This is because it is the easiest to do well in, due to you being in low elo lobbies as you're matched with anyone. If you are a top 1000 team or even a top 5000 team, then if there's 100,000 teams that queue up, you're in the top 5% of that lobby, so there's 95% that are worse than you. So on average, when you're in low elo, you can do really well. Now, previously, I would recommend that you guys drop a super high elimination win to gain as much points as possible from these low elo lobbies. However, due to this tournament being such placement heavy, I'm going to recommend that you try and drop a low elim win in your first game. Usually around 5 to 10 kills is probably best in order to end the game with around 70 to 75 points. Now, if you execute this correctly, it will mean that you won't rocket straight up to top 100 lobbies, which you're probably likely to struggle in unless you're a pro, because it's going to be filled with pros. You will stay in mid-elo lobbies, which you can then play smart in and rotate deadside in order to get another top 5 and have 2 great games in a row. From then on, it's similar to the Duo Cash Cup, of continuing to rotate deadside and play heavy placement. I also think that height will be very OP now in trios, as you can triple spray using the AUG. I would always be aware as well in the early part of the game that if the player count is really high, like high 70s, 80s, sometimes even 90s, then getting surge tags may be crucial. You might have to build a massive surge base in order to get tags to stay above the threshold, as you have to remember that the Storm Surge threshold now will be higher than it has been in duos and solos for the previous year, because now every team will get more damage. Now that is all I have for you in today's video. I really hope this has helped you out. Good luck tomorrow. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out from me.